Friday the 13th is not very good. If you did that Men in Black memory erasing thing on me, showed me this movie, and told me there are 11 more of these things, I'd laugh in your face. For a slasher film, it's pretty bloodless. Most of these kills, with the exception of Arrow Neck, are pretty forgettable, and some of them happen off-screen. I will never forgive this movie for robbing me the chance to see this idiot die a gruesome and slow death. We have weird camera work that, combined with other scenes in the movie, make the big revelation at the end make no sense. And as a rare type of slasher flick that also tries to be a mystery, the revelation is only satisfactory decades after the fact when you're looking at the mythos of Jason Voorhees, the villain of the franchise. Even then, it's more of an, oh, okay, and not a jaw-dropper or anything. There are 3 things you could do to fix this movie. Some broad, sweeping changes, and one specific suggestion that would lead to a better movie. Let's get into it. Let's talk characters. This movie doesn't have any. There are actors who are asked to swim, turn the generator on, and laughably hammer at a gutter from a weird angle, but bullet to my head, I cannot describe the personalities or character traits of over 60% of the characters in the movie. Not counting the police officers or the lady at the diner or any of the people in the town close to Crystal Lake, there are 9 main characters. The creepy camp director, 7 counselors getting ready for a new camp session, and Pamela Voorhees, mother of a child who died at Camp Crystal Lake in 1957. And spoilers, the one killing everyone in the present day because she blames this camp and counselors who weren't even alive when her son died for the death of Jason Voorhees. I'd say 3 of them are barely one-dimensional. Pamela is crazy. That's the best I've got. This guy is obnoxious. And this lady, allegedly our main character, is an artist. That's all we know. This hitchhiker tells Pamela she hates it when people call humans kids because that word is associated with goats. And it's her dream to feed ungrateful, disgusting food holes at a summer camp. Oh, sorry. I worked in a kitchen at a summer camp. I'm getting Vietnam flashbacks. She's more developed than our main character. This is emblematic of most slasher movies. You gotta start killing them off about half an hour in, so you don't have much time to make us care about them. And in a fashion similar to Alien, you don't want to spend too much time with your main character because that tips the audience off that character is safe, at least until you get into what I call the anything goes zone, the last 20 minutes of a slasher film. You're left with a bunch of ciphers where the audience has to fill in the blanks on their personalities. Why should I care when they start dying? Because in a slasher movie, I am supposed to feel some kind of tension, right? If your answer is the characters are dull but the gore is fun, that might have been true a few films later when the genre was more fully realized, but there's one good kill in this movie, leaving us with about an hour and 28 minutes of nothing. Most slasher films find a way to at least assign pretty basic archetypal tropes to the characters so you can figure out who you're dealing with. In Scream, you've got the quiet, reserved girl, her more extroverted friend, the annoying friend, the quiet, tortured boyfriend, the nerd. Even though the movie doesn't give you much more than that, you know these kind of people, either in real life or in other movies with these character types, so you know what the movie's working with. Not so with Friday the 13th. This guy is the annoying one everyone wishes was dead, but beyond that, I got nothing. I think one of them is a vegetarian and is fussing at the others for eating meat, but since they're all turned away from the camera when that line dropped, I can't tell you who said that. The movie needed to flesh these guys out a little. Even if they're going to die 20 minutes after we meet them, that's even more of a reason to give us something to cry about when they die. I had a creative writing professor who said characters are like an iceberg. The audience only sees the part above the water, while the writer knows about the whole iceberg. You may think that's a lot of work for a character the audience will only spend 20 minutes with, and yeah, writing is a lot of work. Don't phone it in. Speaking of characters, Pamela Voorhees shows up for the first time an hour and 15 minutes into the movie, and less than 3 minutes later, she's trying to kill this chick. This is worse than an episode of Scooby-Doo. Just about any episode of Scooby, the kids go to some weird town, meet the townsfolk, they tangle with a monster, they unmask him. Old man Jenkins? It was you? From earlier in the episode? This movie needed to do that. It has absolutely no effect when you tell us, aha, it was her all along, when her hasn't been in the movie until this reveal. How do you fix this? Easy. Have her be there when we meet these kids. She introduces herself as a friend of the family who owns the camp. She's helping creepy sex pervert get the camp cleaned up. Maybe she's gonna be the cook. That way you're not spending our time with like 4 scenes of this girl when you could use that screen time getting to know these guys. Maybe Pamela isn't initially planning on a bloodbath. She's worked through her grief. Everything's gonna be fine. I'm gonna help this lech make this a great camp session. Hey, wait a minute. Those two are making love. Then she snaps. This brings all the painful memories back, and she starts stabbing. I'm guessing Sean Cunningham wanted this to be a young, sexy movie, and putting an older character here spoils that. But I'm not saying Pamela needs to be swimming with the gang or playing strip Monopoly. Just show her helping get the camp ready. She makes cookies for them. She's nice and sweet. Then we're shocked when she shows her true colors. The ending of the movie is weird. Lady Da Vinci, she might have a name, but I don't remember it, and I just watched this thing yesterday. She decapitated Pamela Voorhees and gets in a canoe and drifts about 100 100 yards away from the shore. The police come, they're calling for her, then whablam, an ugly kid comes out of the water with a knife. She wakes up in the hospital screaming. Everyone at Camp Crystal Lake is dead, so no, it wasn't all a dream. My best guess is when she got in the canoe, she fell asleep. Everything else before that happened. So the ugly Baldo, he was in her dream, and therefore not real, right? But she insists Jason Voorhees is still out there. Bum bum bum! This is made even more bizarre in the sequel when we find out, yeah, Jason is still alive, and he travels possibly hundreds of miles to kill Janet Van Eyck for killing his mom. Her insisting Jason is alive when she saw no evidence of that in the movie is odd. But what if Pamela wasn't the only killer? There's one scene where annoying dipstick goes to talk to Guitar Greg, and the camera is positioned in that way where it makes you think someone is behind a tree watching him. Pamela, right? Except shortly after that, we see Pamela's green Jeep give the hitchhiker a ride. Did Pamela come to the camp to spy on this muttonhead, then leave to give this lady a ride, kill her, then come back to Camp Crystal Lake to start her bloodbath here? That would be really weird, right? Or what if this isn't Pamela spying on him, but Jason? What if some of these kills were Jason? Like when Guitar Greg was hoisted up on a door and impaled with arrows, are we meant to think this woman has the upper body strength to do something like this? At the end, when Pamela is about to kill Sandra Botticelli, our hero says, "You killed all of them! Nincompoop, Guitar Greg, Kevin Bacon." And Pamela says, "Whoa, don't try to trick me, I didn't kill that one over there." Then when Michelangelo is at the hospital, she says there's someone still at Camp Crystal Lake on the loose. That's your sequel hook. Otherwise, she has unexplained psychic powers, which do exist in this world, but not for another 4 or 5 movies. That's how I would fix Friday the 13th. It could have been, I won't say great, but at least better. Those are my thoughts. What did you guys think? Let me know, and I'll be back next week to talk about something else. Until then, have a great day.